Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game So taking out a fun, exciting, and completely different type of video for you guys today because I'm experimenting around with the formula just a bit. What I'm going to be doing today is talking about all of the fun things that came to retro gaming in the month of October that are not emulation based, because I do the emulation monthly news roundup and I do the main monthly news roundup. So this is kind of everything I talked about on the channel in a more bite-sized, concise format. So if you're into this, leave me a comment down below and tell me if I should keep doing it. I'll definitely check the stats, but your feedback helps as well. And of course, before we get too far involved, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. But one of my favorite things in the month of October was this gigantic Blood compilation patch for Blood 2. If you ever tried to get the original version of Blood 2 running on your PC, it was an absolute exercise in futility. Banging your head against the wall would have gotten better results than trying to actually get it to run on any modern operating system. And even though Blood 2 isn't as good as the first game, there is a lot to love here, but honestly all of the crashes and issues I would have trying to play the game just meant that I never actually got back into it. But now with this entire compilation patch, you're just going to be able to install it, and at least in my experience, I was able to play Blood 2 from start to finish, see the credits scroll, and I had exactly one crash the entire time. I had no game-breaking bugs, I had no control or latency issues, I really didn't have anything other than that little Windows mouse cursor, that blue loading bar sometimes show up on the screen, and honestly if I didn't point it out to you, you'd probably never notice it. And do know that every single thing I'm talking about in the video today has links in the description below, so if you want to play Blood 2, the patch is down there as well. Now moving over to Ship to Harkinian, it got a big update in the month of October, and because this is a PC port, not emulation, definitely something that fits this video. And even though Ship to Harkinian and 2Ship have been around for a while, this is a really nice update that brings a lot of quality of life features in, a lot of improved mod support, and just more of a good thing. And the best part is we've been talking a lot about decomps, recomps, and PC ports on the channel recently, and I think it's one of those things you're going to see a lot more in 2026. I know of a few in development that I have to keep secret, but there's definitely a lot out there that are public as well. And no, you can't guess in the comments about what those decomps, recomps, or PC ports are going to be, but you probably should as well, because maybe I'll tell you or give you a hint if you get it right. But honestly, this sort of stuff really does keep the gaming dream alive, just like Blood 2's patch system does. Because again, if you try to go in and play some of these legacy games, especially if you're trying to show them to people that didn't grow up in the Blood 2 or Legends of Zelda Ocarina of Time era, they might just think the game's a little bit too antiquated to actually sit down and have fun with. I always use my nephews as an example. If I just let them play an N64 and I let them play Ocarina of Time, I don't think they're going to have that much fun with it, but they absolutely love all the modern Zelda games. But if I gave them something like the PC port and it looked quote-unquote closer to what they expected it to be, I think they would just dedicate more time to it. So again, Ship to Harkinian getting an update, big update in October. Now one that I absolutely loved, even if it is a deep cut, and that is because I am video game esoteric after all, is another Resident Evil or Biohazard game was found and preserved so you can play it for all time, something that wasn't available to play before. This is Biohazard the Episode, and it is a feature phone game out of Japan that basically has bite-sized bits of the Resident Evil formula, Resident Evil 3 primarily, that you could play on your phone. But the nice thing is with the Keitai launcher, you can play this on PC as well and experience it. And it is not every day that a Resident Evil or Biohazard game that you were never able to play comes out publicly. It's one of those things. The preservation team behind the Keitai launcher absolutely do an amazing job of trying to find these games and bring them to everyone, because basically it seems like they just buy big boxes of used cell phones and hope that something that they actually need to preserve is installed on one of those. And because these games are at risk to being lost to time, because again, they were just cell phone games with no physical media, not only getting a Biohazard game you never played is awesome, but from a preservation standpoint, maybe one of my favorite things to happen in the month of October. And if you want to play this one, like I said, the link is in the description below. I will make sure I link up everything of the video, that way you can grab everything you need. And if I do forget a link, yell at me in the comments, because often I actually do forget the links. I say I'm going to do it, then I don't upload the video for 2 days, and I completely forget what I say. But as far as Biohazard the Episode is concerned, it is amazing to play a game that I didn't even really know existed. I think I'd read about this once or twice, but then all of a sudden somebody involved in the project sent me a message saying, hey, this is going to be available now. So I did a video, everyone was happy, and it is one of those things. Resident Evil is such a massive franchise, it is so popular with so many people, that I'm sure tens of thousands of people were stoked to find out that there was a Resident Evil game they'd never heard of before and could play today. So that's definitely one of the highlights of the month in retro gaming as far as October 2025 is concerned. And speaking of lost games, I was able to, with help, release Rubu Tribe so everyone could enjoy this. This is a game that never actually released for PlayStation 2. It was previewed at E3, and with the help of some people, I was able to get this to all of you so you could enjoy it, because I absolutely love lost games, and anytime I'm able to obtain any sort of prototype beta build that is not publicly available, I will always make sure that it gets out there with a video for free so that everyone can enjoy it. And again, I had a lot of help with this one, so the credit list is in the description below, because it does take a lot of people to work on projects like this, and sometimes I get a little bit in the weeds with all the videos I need to make, as well as the fact that technically I'm not very good at doing anything with PlayStation 2 hardware or software as far as getting games to run, because this was a dev build and now it is something you can run on a retail PlayStation 2 as well as PCSX 2, and I'm way better at the arcade side of things when it comes to making software work. But being able to bring a lost game, a canceled game that never saw the light of day, to the public so that everyone can play it for all time really is one of my favorite things to do on the channel. Just like the K-Tai launcher team, basically we're able to bring a new Biohazard game out that no one had seen before. Being able to bring Rubu Tribe so that you can actually enjoy it really does make me happy. And again, I'm not sure what those dudes are there, but if you watch the original video, I named them all Bob, and that is what they will always be known as, because I'm the one creating the lore now because there isn't any information. But Rubu Tribe is out there. It might be archived somewhere, and I'm sure you can find it. Now moving over to the PC side of things again after we did Blood 2, this is Carmageddon. It is basically a full decompilation and modern port to Windows operating systems. And I know that this game was a PC game back in the day, but just like Blood 2, if you actually try to get the original Carmageddon running on any sort of modern PC, you are in for an absolute bad experience. It does not want to boot, it doesn't want to run, it wants to crash all the time. If you even get it running, you spend more time to get the game functioning than you actually do sitting down and playing it. So I'm really excited to see these PC decomps, recomps, PC ports, whatever you want to call them, because people are really debating it. Yes, it is a port, but no, it isn't a port at the same time. But honestly, the verbiage doesn't matter. They're rebuilding the game based upon the original source code, and they're giving you a modern version of Carmageddon. And if you grew up in this era with PCs like I did, I would sit down and play Carmageddon for hours upon hours. It's basically Grand Theft Auto, except you don't actually have any of the missions. You just drive around and create absolute mayhem. And now if you want to play Carmageddon today, you can just sit down, grab the actual files from GitHub, give it a version of Carmageddon's files, and you just double click the executable and play like it is back in the 90s. And that's something that helps keep these games alive, because trust me, not everyone has the patience I do to get things running, and even I give up sometimes. If I spend an hour and a half trying to get a game to boot, and then from there I'm finally playing it, sometimes I only play for 10 minutes because I'm just bored of the entire experience. So this one definitely was one of my favorite things from the month of October as well, being able to play Carmageddon as a modern PC port with all the trappings of having it on Windows 10 or 11, and none of the crashes or issues trying to get it to run from the legacy version. So if you love Carmageddon, you didn't see that video, you're definitely in for a treat. Now on the ROM hacking side of things, Mario Syndrome here, weirdest ROM hack I played in the month of October, and also the most fun. It basically is just Mario Brothers, except completely pivoted, turned upside down, and basically made to feel brand new. And the soundtrack on this one is absolutely wild, feels familiar and different at the same time, and it's the first and only soundtrack sample you're going to get in this video. 45 seconds and I'll be right back with just a little bit more fun. But I absolutely love covering ROM hacks on the channel, especially when they're as weird and intriguing as Mario Syndrome, and that is the reality of the thing. I would love to make more videos on more things that happen every single month, but I only have so many video slots, so a lot of times I actually have to basically just pick and choose what I think you guys want to watch and what I want to talk about, and that's why this recap format in the future might allow me to talk about some things that we're not able to actually make it to a full video. So if it's one of those things you want to see more content that you didn't see on the channel in these actual kind of compilation of what happened in retro in that month, tell me down below as well, because I might just recut it from videos I have. I may actually put some new content in, because trust me, there's too many things going on a daily and weekly basis for me to find the time to schedule all of those videos for all of you guys to watch. Now, another big thing that happened in the month of October is not only did Duke Nukem Zero on Nintendo 64 hit 100% decompiled status, it also has an alpha static recomp that you can play today. And honestly, this is a game more so than a lot of others on N64 that I think is definitely going to benefit from this process. I want a world in which we have a mouse and keyboard on Duke Nukem Zero Hour. I want to turn on the first person cheat. I want to basically play this thing like an old school boomer shooter on N64 in that static recomp status, because we've had a lot of different recomp and PC port videos on the channel in 2025, and I'm sure again it's going to be that way in 2026, because this video has not only the PC port of Ocarina of Time, but also the static recomp of Duke Nukem Zero Hour. And again, I just think that this is going to be so huge for gaming in the future. There's a lot of games that definitely would benefit from this, and Duke Nukem Zero Hour definitely is one of them. You're just basically getting so many more frames per second here, even in its alpha state, and I'm sure once this thing gets buttoned up, improved on, a lot of different mod support, you're going to basically feel like you're playing almost an entirely new, remade version of Duke Nukem Zero Hour. And that is the great thing. This game is a ton of fun, but if you play it on N64, no matter how I set the controls up, it absolutely fights me time and time again, and I end up taking deaths that don't really feel were fair and getting kicked back because this game doesn't have a very good checkpoint system. So hopefully in something like the static recomp, maybe a new checkpoint system could be added in, so the game is a little bit less painful to play when you end up dying and have to be reset back to where you came from. And speaking of games that are challenging but in all the fun ways, Symphony of the Night got a brand new randomizer with the randomizers actually built in to the disk image itself. Before this, if you wanted to have a new seed, you'd basically have to generate a new disk image, so you could either load it up on your optical disk emulator, on Mr. FPGA, or on something like DuckStation. But now that it's been taken care of for you, there's going to be a whole randomizer with all of the different randomizer toggles and settings that you just set when you first load up the game. And then from there you can even save your randomizer game so long as you write your seed number down. So when you load the save back up and give it that seed number, you're continuing to play the same random seed that you got when you started. Because not everyone uses randomizers for speed runs. Some people just like to play them, but it might take them a week or two to finish. So that is also a really fun thing here. But again, this is just an ease of use situation, and because it is Symphony of the Night, you know damn well I'm going to talk about it because it is still one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. And as far as Metroidvanias are concerned, I think Symphony of the Night got it the best off the start, and I don't think anything has ever actually rivaled it. Really, leave me a comment down below and you tell me what is your favorite Castlevania Metroidvania style game. I'm sure a lot of you people will agree with me, but some may actually have a different opinion. But even decades later, Symphony of the Night still has people working on it, and I love that because it is a game that absolutely deserves all the love and attention it can possibly get, and it definitely is getting a lot of love and attention in the randomizer community, because I know this new ROM hack is definitely being well received out there. If you haven't played, you definitely should. But as far as my favorite bit of retro gaming fun from the month of October, Biohazard the episodes being preserved and made playable for everyone is my favorite thing, because not only do I always love and advocate for preservation on the channel, I have played every single mainline Resident Evil game and a ton of the offshoots as well, and it is just one of my favorite franchises. So getting to play a brand new experience in it, and also knowing that it is a game that could have been lost to time, it's just something that is always going to make me, Video Game Esoterica, very happy. Leave me a comment down below and tell me, what do you think of the format of this video? Is it something you'd like to see once a month? If it is, I'll definitely keep making them. If this doesn't do well, it is a one and done experiment. And tell me what your favorite bit of news was as well, because I would be curious. But all the links are in the description below, so you can enjoy all of these things. So go out there, have some fun, and hopefully November is another big month. Bye-bye.